What's up, coach? How's it going?
Doing well. Hope everybody else is doing well. Thought game on Sunday, special teams was solid overall. I think it was another solid game. I think overall, about to the halfway point of the season, we're about top 10 in every single special teams statistical category, and we just got to keep pushing forward, keep finding ways to improve and get better. It's going to be all about how we finish. Obviously, Shane hit on how important games are in November and December, and we've got a really big challenge ahead of us this week. Pittsburgh traditionally very good at special teams. Obviously, have a very experienced and very good special teams coordinator. They have very good special teams personnel, probably the best overall special teams personnel that we have faced all year. And we've got to keep finding ways to enhance it and do, obviously build off of the things that we've been doing. I think Rigo's been punting the ball at an extremely high level. Had a very good game. Obviously, 4 punts. People were joking about his workload and things, but he continues to punt at an extremely high level. The net punt every single week has been above our objective of having a 45-yard net punt, and the punt team has been playing at a high level. The kickoff team, I think, continues to make improvements. Badgley's been kicking the ball well. The average starting field position last week was the 26-yard line. Overall, we're about at that halfway point, when you look at the kickoff model, and I know some people have, kind of talked about some of those things, but you're still at 79% of all returns. All kickoffs have been returned, which is obviously still staying at a very high amount. The average starting field position is the 30.2-yard line, so there's not a huge difference between the 29-yard line last year. It's just a little bit above the 30 this year, but you are seeing certainly a large number of 40+ yard returns have happened this year at a much higher, amount than it has over the last decade. And I know some of those numbers and things have been put out. Um, you know, Punt return wise, Gould did end up getting an opportunity this week and did a really good job generating an explosive return. Certainly, we're hoping he'll be back healthy again this week, and something that we'll continue to monitor throughout the week. Don't have any updates with that there, but certainly there were, really good opportunity there in the punt return game. Didn't have a lot of opportunities this past week in kickoff return. Thought there was a little bit of a missed opportunity in that second return, but that unit has operated at a high level that we're going to need again this week.
Jake, you want to go ahead and start us off?
Yeah, hey coach. So you briefly touched on it with Anthony. He obviously left with that injury, but it felt like he was maybe a little more aggressive, or maybe just things went his way a little better on Sunday. Was there anything that changed in the week leading up, or things just went his way this week?
Yeah, no, he certainly hasn't had a great opportunity to get things started. I don't think there's anything that changed in the week leading up this week. The biggest change is that, the Titans punted 5 times in the game. So obviously, the more opportunities we have with our opponent punting, the more opportunity he's going to have to be able to generate a return, especially if we have a little bit more field space or a little bit more space to get him generated and started. He had good opportunity on the return that he started. We did a good job eliminating the gunners. He had some space and was able to get some things going. On another one, he was able to get a 13-yard return off of a rush look where he was just able to get the thing vertical and get what was there. So he just did a nice job and was given a little bit more opportunities than maybe we've had in some other games.
Gotcha, thanks.
Joel.
Uh, you guys, uh, you guys really it was Anthony and kind of Josh Downs a lot in training camp. Who else would be in the mix if you needed a different punt returner?
I think we have a good stable of options. Especially at this point in the season, we have 3 guys with NFL experience as a starting punt returner. So we have Gould, who obviously has done a really good job for us. Josh Downs has done a good job for us in the past. Amir Abdullah has been a starting punt returner in the NFL. So he's another good person that we'll certainly have out there that we can use if we needed to. We have Coleman Owen, who's done a great job. Obviously on the practice squad, somebody that would have to be elevated, but somebody that we certainly trust and think can do a great job as well.
Steven.
Hey, Brian, really broad question, but with the changes we've seen in kickoffs and how that's evolved the last few years, what have you noticed about starting field position in the league? Has it changed much, or do you think it's impacted that much? And I should probably look that up. So sorry.
Yeah, so starting field position over the last 2 years has certainly improved overall for offensive starting field position when you look at the kickoff drive start. So like last year, the average starting field position on kickoff was the 29-yard line. This year, it's right at just above the 30-yard line. So it's pretty similar this year to last year. There's not a huge
Okay.
change there. But still, the average starting field position after a kickoff return being the 30. All right. They say the offense moves the ball just slightly. Whether they get a first down or not, you're going to be punting near midfield. You'll probably be in that gray area where you're in the 40 to 45 range and not quite to the plus 50. However, with the way the punters operate, and especially if you have a good punter, if you're punting near the 40 to 45, far 40 to 45 yard line, you're going to end up with a really good probability that your opponent's now starting back up near the minus 10 yard line. So you're seeing that you're able to quickly change field position pretty drastically back and forth right there, because a lot more teams are either quickly getting into field goal range, or when they are punting, they're punting on a shorter field, which does limit some ability for teams to be able to get return yards and change field position. So there is a little bit different game there. I think the Indy Star kind of hit on a little bit with an article about, Shane has decided to receive the ball on the coin toss this year,
Yep.
with some of that game being a little bit different with the new kickoff. So certainly there is some differences with how the things are played, because so quickly teams are getting the ball to midfield and having better field position. There is a little bit more scoring this year, which probably has a little bit more to do with the offense starting off with some better field position.
And then I wonder, does this factor into it at all? I mean, we're seeing just unprecedented kicks in terms of distance this year, field goals, I should say, or at least attempts. I mean, a couple first downs, and some of these kickers are in range, right? I mean, is that fair? And that's part of the whole thinking as well?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, obviously we've seen over the last couple of years that, certainly kickers are getting better and better. Certainly, some differences with the K ball certainly helps as well,
Sure.
where kickers have the ball broken in, to their liking well in advance of the game. All those things certainly benefit, but, certainly, all of that's going to play into your ability to quickly change the game with field position or get into scoring range.
Cool. Thanks.
Looks like that'll do it, Mace. Thanks for your time.
Appreciate it.